Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Well, I have been off the net for the last few days, taking a little bit of a break. Now I am back, and today we're going to continue our discussion about the possibility of conflict between India and Pakistan. Now, again, as I've talked about before, this would be a significant conflict if, in fact, these two nation states were to go to war. Two very large population bases compounded with large industry. And both nation states have nuclear weapons. Both nation states could quite possibly cause significant damage to each other's populations and industry through the use of nuclear weapons. We're talking about millions, if not tens of millions, of people dead, and ultimately the collapsing of both nation states' economies and nuclear fallout extending into areas around the war zone. Now, what's interesting right now that we're seeing happen is the deployment of Turkish vessels, Turkish aircraft to Pakistan. Pakistan and Turkey are very close. Both are Muslim nation states. Obviously, Turkey is part of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Now, recently, over the past several months, we have seen Pakistan ship large amounts of munitions and ammunition to the Ukraine, directly assisting the North Atlantic Treaty Organization in its ongoing war with the Russian Federation through its proxy forces, through its proxy Ukrainian forces. Now, recently, the leadership of the Russian Federation has reached out to India and has, for the most part, declared that Russia supports India's right to defend itself against terrorist activity. What are they saying? Well, right now it would appear that the Russians are somewhat taking the side of India. Again, the root cause of this could be because Pakistan has delivered large amounts of ammunition to the Ukraine. Now, what really makes this interesting is that the close ally of Pakistan is China, who is also supporting the Russian Federation through back-channel diplomacy and back-channel supply methods in its war against the North Atlantic Treaty Organization and the Ukrainian proxy forces. So very interesting to see what is happening kind of behind the scenes. You have China supporting Pakistan. China supports the Russian Federation. Pakistan is supporting NATO. It is supporting the Ukraine in terms of delivering weapons. And now, is it doing this through a means that it believes that it is assisting and the Ukrainians are in the right? Probably not. Probably not. It is widely believed that the Pakistanis are handing over these munitions. Well, they're not handing over these munitions. They are selling these munitions to the Ukrainians, to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, to the United States, to Western European powers, to turn a quick profit. Now, because Pakistan has sold large amounts of ammunition, it has put Pakistan in a position that if large-scale conflict were to break out between India and Pakistan, that could affect certain parts of this conflict, meaning Pakistan may not have access to certain stockpiles of ammunition and munitions, specifically a wide array of artillery ammunition, 155 millimeter, 122 millimeter, 130 millimeter. All of this is produced in Pakistan, stockpiled in Pakistan, and then was immediately sold to Western European nation states and the Ukraine to supply Ukrainian forces. Now, here we are with both nation states, Pakistan and India, at the precipice of a possible conflict. And just today, the defense minister of Pakistan believes that India could be preparing to launch a strike along the line of contact in a very, very short period of time. Now look, before we were talking about 24, 36 hours. Obviously that came and went. It did not happen. But it does appear that India is positioning itself for some sort of military activity against Pakistan. Again, we believe at this point said military activity will be, for the most part, missile attacks, long-range missile attacks by by India against Pakistani targets along the line of contact and possibly deeper into the rear areas of Pakistan as well. We are not seeing the kind of buildup that would indicate that India is preparing a large-scale ground operation against Pakistani forces. But, again, Turkey is now sending support to Pakistan. So that indicates that if conflict were to happen, Turkey would directly be supporting Pakistan. And it's very interesting to see how this is morphing and changing. And if you look at, for instance, India, which recently took a large delivery of advanced French fighter aircraft. India has also taken delivery of advanced Russian weapon systems, and the Russians appear to be somewhat supporting India in this conflict as China continues to support Pakistan. Very, very strange dynamic in this conflict. But war makes strange bedfellows, and that's kind of where we're at right now. But ultimately, the defining factor between these two nation states, Pakistan and India, they really dislike each other. They dislike each other on a level that is hard to compare and contrast if you look at other nation states. I think you would have to look at Iran and Iraq, and obviously I would say the bitterness between the two cultures, Pakistan and India, Muslim Pakistan, Hindu multiculturalism, quote unquote, India, is much deeper in terms of pure hatred than even the animosity that may exist right now between the Ukraine and the Russian Federation. Probably much, much less in terms of what is essentially Russians kind of fighting Russians in terms of the Ukraine and the Russian Federation. But again, it's a proxy war being used by NATO. This, India and Pakistan, is just a sheer, unadulterated hate between these two nation states. That if things really kick off, this could get incredibly, incredibly nasty. But a lot of moving pieces right now that are taking place. It definitely appears that Pakistan believes something is going to happen militarily, and it does appear that Pakistan is going to, if India does attack, Pakistan is going to respond. And their response is going to be designed to prevent further Indian military activity. Now, what will India do? This is where things could get out of hand. And this is where we're going to continue to watch this very, very closely as the prospects of war continue to elevate. They are not decreasing. We are increasing our chances for a direct conflict between India and Pakistan. So more to come as we continue to cover this. As always, thanks for joining us. More to come very, very soon. Good day.